Hello there, lovers. Today's video is sponsored by Summer's Eve, and it is a video that I can hardly believe it has taken me this long to do because it's right up my alley. We're talking about sex and health, sexy health. In essence, I want to share with you guys what it is that I do before having sex and what I do after having sex, a complete care guide. But before we jump into all of the juicy details on doing the dirty, the clean way, let's talk about Summer's Eve. This is a feminine hygiene product line that I can truly get behind. Summer's Eve is 5-in-1. It's clinically tested safe scents. It removes odor-causing bacteria. It is pH balanced. It's free from parabens and dyes, and it gently cleanses and freshens. I was actually thinking about this before I pressed record today, and at this age, I have literally been having sex for half of my life. For just as long as I've been not having sex, I have been having sex, and probably within the past, well, literally since I got with Jared, that's the only time I really truly nailed down a care guide that really works for me, that works for my body, and that I am excited to share. And of course, by the end of the video, I'd love to hear what yours is as well. Now, as many of you know from my plethora of videos on this, my girl, my homie, my creator, my center, she's wonderful, but she's picky as hell. I cannot use a wash on my vulva that is not specifically formulated for it. I have made that mistake traveling. I will not make it anymore. But specifically, I want to talk about sex because sex is about introducing new bacteria, new fluids into the area, which is why it's super important that you have a care guide. Now, before we go any further and get into like the juicy details of it all, I do want to give you guys like a basic dry run of what pH essentially is. The pH scale measures how acidic or basic something is. And contrary to what you might naturally think, the vagina is pretty much around the orange juice realm. Majority of the things that interact with your vagina on a monthly basis are a lot more basic or a lot more alkaline, and those things include water, soap, blood, and semen. And so while yes, your vagina is a self-cleaning system that doesn't need a lot of assistance, it has done what it do for thousands of years and it will continue to do so. It is a natural wonder, but you throw a lot at it. Nothing can substitute what it is that you're putting into your body, and none of the products that I'm mentioning today are things that I suggest that you insert or that you ingest. These are topical use only. And so I'm a big fan of probiotics, I'm a big fan of drinking water, and of course I'm a big fan of visiting my gynecologist to ensure that I am getting professional help to ensure that I'm giving myself the right things to make sure she's as happy as possible. So nothing can substitute that. So once you've done those things, that's when you can do this thing and come up with a topical system that's gonna work best for you. And that's what we're about to tackle right now. First, we're gonna talk about what I do before I do what I gotta do to do what I wanna do. You know what my good girl needs to get done. I don't know if any of that made sense. I'm talking about the pre-sex care guide. I want to split this up into two separate parts. What we used to do and the one that we currently have. So when we very first got together and sex happened anytime, any place, anywhere we could get it. In cars, in movie theaters, at his friend's house, you know, in my apartment, in the stairwell. There's details, we'll go over it later, but sex just happened, which is why I always had individually packaged disposable wipes. And so Summer's Eve has this incredible one that has aloe vera infused in it, and it is 5-in-1. So what you do with these individually wrapped cloths, which I got one right here to show you. You toss like 4 of these in your bag because it might be nice to give it to your partner too. And so you just spread the labia apart. You don't go into the actual vaginal opening. You just wipe around the folds. I tend to get discharge buildup as the day goes on, so it's nice just to remove that out. Once again, you don't have to do these things. I think a lot of the pre-sex care guide is mental. It's making sure that you feel fresh. In addition, you want to ensure you're not introducing new funky bacteria to your partner that they're not accustomed to dealing with. Your body is probably fine. It's the pre-sex care guide's more so for your peace of mind and for your partner's peace of mind. The other thing that I used to do, because you know you're still in the courting phase, you're trying to lure that person in, make them feel like you've got this like fragrant punani that just like oozes honey. And so I like just to give it a nice little fresh spray up. So this powder again is 5-in-1, and here's really important things to remember. This is always talc free. You do not want to put any talc down there. And on top of that, again, I don't lift or fold or press or open. I just take it arm's width apart and I spray. It's a nice way just to dry things up, address any odor. It's pH balanced, it's clinically tested, it's safe, and so it just gives a beautiful fresh scent. And on days when I didn't shave and I had some nice beautiful foliage down there, it grabs to the hairs really nicely to give just a clean, fresh scent. So I used to love just a nice little quick spray before I went on my way, and then we got it popping. Moving on to what we currently do every single day. I'm just joking, maybe like 3-4 times a week. We just have a routine and sex fits into that routine. So we work out in the morning together, and then we pretty much shower together maybe like 70 to 80% of the time. Our showers aren't always sexy. Sometimes it's just sharing and saving a water bill, but ultimately it is a nice time just to be in there to bond. I have to have a specific wash. Whether I'm having sex or not having sex is kind of null and void of that, but it is essential that I have a wash that is specifically balanced for my genitals. I have made the mistake several times, like I said, of using just any old soap. It does not work for me. This one in particular, I super love. It is a naturally normal cleansing wash. It's for normal skin. It honestly has it has a waft to it. There's not like a strong scent, and it's really gentle. So I usually take no more than like that much, and I do front to back. I do my genitals, I do my anal area, and I just clean that way. Jared actually also uses my washes for his sensitive areas as well too, and so we tend to go through these because they're pretty integral to our daily care. Okay, so let me give you like a totally different scenario now. We work on different floors in the house, and so it can be like 4 or 5 p.m. and we haven't seen each other all day. So we might meet in the kitchen at some point, and then he might be like, "Ooh, you look nice. You look all productive. Like you've gotten a lot of stuff done. You feeling good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm feeling good. You actually look pretty good your damn self." And he's like, "Well, you trying to take a break, or what's up?" And I'm like, "I could spare a break. What do you have in mind?" And then we go and get some wipes. It's just a natural part of, I think, our care. For both of us mentally, we just like to do that 1-second wipe up. Sex can happen, and it does casually happen, and we are big fans of afternoon sex. I love these cleansing cloths by Summer's Eve. This one in particular, again, has a very light fragrance. It's gentle. Jared uses them as well too, and we just have these in every bathroom. We have it downstairs in our sex care kit, which is like a little toy chest underneath our bed. For me, sex is very mental. If I have cracked heels, for example, and I could hear the sound of those against someone's skin, it can kind of take me out of the moment. And so I know if I haven't just taken a second just to feel my best, I may not necessarily be able to fully enjoy the moment. And then the big event happens. We go and we have sex. Flowers bloom, birds chirp, bees pollinate, fireworks pop off. It's a wonderful time, and when we are done, we sit in that after sex glow and we look at each other and we say, "I love you," and we just experience and feel. We let our heart rates come down and let our sweat dry for approximately 10 seconds, and then we get up. Like, this has been our thing since the jump, and I actually think Jared's the one who introduced this to me. We get up and we go to the bathroom together. Immediately after sex, again, maybe like roughly like 30 seconds afterwards, like once all the pulsing is finished, we're like, "That was great. Let's go." So I go to the toilet, he goes to the sink. I go to the toilet and I pee. If you haven't heard this before, I want to say it 6 times in a row.
Pee after sex, 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 please pee after sex.
Peeing after sex is a way to clear out any new bacteria that was introduced to the area. It can prevent a multitude of infections or imbalances. It's a simple thing that you can do. It's free. After I finish peeing, I get up. I might grab one of these wipes. So these wipes are excellent once again to remove odor-causing bacteria, and I just want to use something that's pH balanced. Or I might just pop a squat over the sink and bird bath. I just, spread my folds apart, get some warm water up in there, and then pat dry. Very rarely do we ever shower after sex. you know, we would have had to had like a very like sticky encounter. It would have to be like we added something new, but you know, I'm not a big post shower sex person. I want to get back to the bed to cuddle as soon as possible. Now, Jared's post sex care routine, if we use condoms, he goes to the sink immediately and fills it up with water. That's a way of seeing if the condom was compromised in any way. Obviously, if some water is coming through, you know there's been an issue. If not, you just dump it out and then you throw it into the garbage. And then he takes warm water or he takes a cleansing cloth and he wipes up as well too. Then we go back to bed and we just get to do all the fun stuff. All of the petting, the cooing, the kissing, the cuddling, and then eventually the sleeping. And there you have it. You guys know all my business now. That is exactly what I do before I have sex and after I have sex. And now it is your turn. I am dying to know because I just spilled all my tea. Give me a sip of yours. What do you do before sex and what do you do after sex? What is your routine? And does it change from partner to partner or do you have yours set in stone? I feel like the routine that I have, we will keep for a very long time. Again, my body, both of our bodies have never been happier or more in harmony. And I attribute that to the work that we put in both before and after. And speaking of work, I'm so proud to have worked with you, Summer's Eve, on this collaboration. Summer's Eve is available on Amazon and majority of retailers. And so I like it for that reason. It's convenient. I can pour a little small bit into a travel size so it can go with me wherever I go. And again, they have a multitude of products. And so it's not a matter of like what's worked for me and my vulva, which you feel free to take the recommendation, but I strongly recommend that you go to their website, go through the product line and see what would best benefit you based on what your needs are. And you can go in the info box below to links to how you can find the full Summer's Eve product line on Amazon. Take your pick. I suggest you go through it slowly, ask questions, you know, have a conversation with yourself to find the care guide that works best for you. And once you find that guide, come back and tell me. So yeah, go in the info box, then go in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by. I have no idea what kind of ending that was. And we're still here. Maybe we can try one more time. Thank you for joining me on this hot episode.
Black, black, girl like